Hello dear students, today I'm going to talk on motor skills and activity of daily living skills at pre-primary level, and we are going to learn how to prepare an educational program for AST. So in this we are going to understand what is motor skills and ADL, that is activity of daily living, importance of both, then activity as per pre-primary level, and finally a sample of educational program in motor skills and activity of daily living skills. So let us see what is a motor skills. A motor skill is a function which involves the movement of muscle with the purpose to perform a specific act, to perform a specific behavior, to perform a specific action. In a daily life you do a lot of walking, you do a lot of jumping, you do a lot of things with your hand, with your legs, so that is your motor skills. Okay, so where you're performing some act, where you're moving with some purpose, because that's your ability to feel something, that's your ability to sense something, what one muscles are doing. There are two type of motor skills, that is fine motor skills and gross motor skills. Whereas a fine motor skill is applying your small muscle, whereas a gross motor skills where a big muscle like jumping or riding bicycle, or holding a big object in your hand, that is your gross motor skills. Now let us see what is activity of daily living, the thing we normally do in daily living, which include your self-care, feeding yourself or ourselves, bathing, dressing, grooming, toileting. There are a lot of other activities, leisure time, that all called as a activity of daily living skills. That's very very important. Okay, so most of the time you can see in the pre-primary children where they have this kind of difficulty in performing, especially when the child is have some conditions of like autism or intellectual disability or any other disability. So some kids may have this kind of ADL activities, where at least then our goal becomes at least we need to train these ADL activities so that they can become independent when they move to the society, so that they can perform their independency things very easily. Now let's understand why motor skill is important. See, it is important so that the child with intellectual disability or any other disability or autism learn to hold the small or big object, to develop the strength in the body, to develop writing skills, to play, then to participate in different role organized by the school or society in the annual days, and to boost their physical education as well, like running, jumping. You do a lot of activities at home like cutting some small vegetables, mopping, and there are a lot of things where you can involve the motor skills activity, which becomes very important. Then why ADL skill is important? See, ADL are important to understand individual level of functioning in various area of day-to-day activity, as we discussed. It might be a bathing, it might be a combing, it might be a dressing, eating. So there are a lot of ADL activity which you can understand the present functioning ability of the child. And also when you have a better ADL skills, better activities to live yourself, anyways it will give you a self motivation, self esteem, confidence level get boosted. Okay, so these are the importance of ADL skills. So let us see activities of motor skills and ADL. So what are the activities of motor skills? Like running, jumping, walking on line, throwing a ball, walking like an animal, like a crawling, then playing indoor games, clay activities. So there are a lot of other activities, building blocks. So there are a lot of other motor activity which you can involve with the child in developing their motor skills, might be it fine motor skills or gross motor skills. So that's very very important activity which you can involve at least to build their strength. And ADL activities like bathing, this is one where you can teach the child about good bathing, and how to take the personal health hygiene habits, how to improve the health habits. Then tolerating skills, being able to use the bathroom, how to use the bathroom, that is very very important. And then feeding, dressing, then mobility, going outside around the station place. For example, if you are stationed at your house, so you will go out at the garden, so you move where you were standing, you move where you were living, you move where you have just stationed and just arrived somewhere, or just moving surrounding. So that is your mobility. Okay, so that is also very very important activity which you can involve directly to the children with autism, children with intellectual disabilities, so that they can improve their further appearance. So now let us see the sample of educational program which we have planned in motor skills and ADL skills. As you can see, the domain I have selected the domain here, motor skills and ADL activity, and I have selected two topics, that is building a blog to develop the fine motor skills and eating habits, that means that is ADL activity. So it's very simple. You need to target your goal, that this is my objective, where I have taken building a blog to develop the fine motor skills, and here I have taken eating a food when mixed and given with 90% of accuracy. So against this you need to find out the current level. Now see, to build the block he has a fine eye hand coordination, even to eat the food with the spoon, even he require eye hand coordination, so that's already there. And he follows the instruction, and he likes the food whatever he wants to eat. But most of the time we have to give physical and verbal prompt. So that is where you need to find out exactly to succeed in your target or goal. Here the placement, you will be teaching in the classroom, or resource room, or a self-contained classroom, or at home. Most of the time these eating things can be better implemented at home. Then the person responsible, and what is my success criteria. As I mentioned in my specific objective 80%, here 90%, so it differs your success criteria. You need to see which has a more probability to increase, and this will be my strategy, accommodation and modification to deal with it. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to plan an individualized training or teaching learning, so that I can implement this. Then I will be having a blocks modification in the spoon. This will tell my a timeline when I'm going to feed, or when I'm going to teach that particular concept, when I'm going to tell you that building a block concept, when I'm going to implement that. And using ICT, computer assisted instruction, so that I can clear the concept how the child is eating with the spoon, and how it is how the child is able to smell the things, food. So all these things I can take with the help of ICT to clear the concept. And then later we can evaluate whether he has achieved or not, and the date of evaluation. So this tells very clearly evaluation, that whether I need to modify the strategy, whether I need to change the content, whether my objective was not appropriate, or what kind of things further required. So that I will be talking about when I finish my evaluation, or when when the child has not achieved the target. So this is about your educational program in the motor skills and ADL activities. Thank you.